Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Day After Podcast and our new sub-show, LYNCHPIN, where I'm here with Mike.
Hi, everybody.
And we've gone on an adventure of which we're approximately two-thirds done, where we try to watch and review every David Lynch film in chronological order. We hope you're having a fantastic end to your summer, because today we're talking about 1997's Lost Highway, which was David Lynch's 7th film out of 10, so we're approaching the end of his career.
Which is flippity floppity here.
It's a flip. Oh my god, this is
neither of us like this.
His whole career is a nightmare pancake that you've just gently tossed down the stairs.
And some of the flips, or mid-flip, they're kind of interesting. Like
sometimes it hits the cat on the way down. You put it online, you make $10 million. David Lynch is who I look at when I want to blame somebody for not liking noir films.
Don't make him like he's using noir. He is not defining noir.
Okay,
nobody says that this guy is one of the definitions of noir.
Okay, so that sentence has as much weight as when somebody says, "What's your least favorite genre?" I don't like anime. That is not a genre. There's shitty anime out there, guy.
Well, that you just didn't pick a good example of anime in the sentence, but like
yeah,
this.
Okay.
But with that said, like.
He uses noir. That's not what he is.
Well, okay. After Dune, Lynch's style consists of using crime drama as a vehicle to tell his surrealistic, not even stories. Like he uses the narrative framework of a crime drama, so that he could infuse it with weird surrealism.
He really can, and
that can work. And I would say that. I would argue that it does work to a degree with flaws in Blue Velvet. But in this movie, it comes across as a guy waking up and going, I had a dream. Let me tell you about my dream. And then you go, that's nice, sir. How the hell did you get in this prison?
That so there's an ambiguity with, there's an ambiguity. This is a big problem because the first time I've heard somebody articulate this problem was in a Goosebumps book by an 8-year-old character. When they were having breakfast and one of the kids was explaining a dream that he had, and the other kid goes, "You know what? I don't like it when people explain dreams. There's a nebulous frustration to it." I could say, and anyway, Gene Wilder was there, but like the ceiling was on fire, and you're like, "That's great. I wasn't there, buddy." So
yes, you have to justify the weird storytelling of "I had a dream," and in this movie, he does not. And I'm sure that there are people out there who are saying, well, you didn't interpret it right, and this the thing, and this like reincarnation and underworld. I don't care.
Well, maybe
like it's this and Dune are so far the worst.
I think
Dune infuriates me. This just kind of bores me.
That would be different. This, if we didn't do it for Kubrick for obvious reasons, this might make a good rank video, but considering he only has 9 of them. That's a really interesting, let's be careful, a semi-interesting philosophical discussion. To what degree does the responsibility fall on the viewer to correctly interpret it to get quality out of? Because you can't blame the viewer for not interpreting something.
As I was watching this, I felt like, yeah, I could interpret the symbolism and the meanings of this. Am I going to have an enriching experience? I felt no. Because I felt like I was going to go, okay, it's probably going to be some reincarnation, spirituality, artist, whatever the fuck, women, or like they're like the sirens in the underworld, or I don't fucking know.
Sirens in the
And I'm sure. Okay, someone was like, that is not the right interpretation. How dare you? I don't care.
Well, David has said, and we said in the first episode way back in Eraserhead, that he will he won't punch anybody, but he
doesn't even put a strict interpretation in his movies.
No, he will not interact with possible interpretations of his films.
I'm okay with that.
This is a man who has long since stopped giving a fuck. He has a daily YouTube channel where all he does is read the Los Angeles weather report. And I don't know how that got put on my feed, because Guys, it's been like 6 weeks since watching Wild at Heart with Nicolas Cage in real time here, so I wasn't Googling David Lynch in the meantime, but they were like, you need to know what David Lynch thinks about the weather June 1st.
I'm glad you brought up Wild at Heart, because you made this comment that I really agree with.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I noticed near the end of this movie, it starts trying to get rad, and they pulled out the Marilyn Manson, they pulled out the Rammstein, they pulled out these Darren Aronofsky visual film splitters that attempt to make you feel like your brain is melting, and then they step back again. I'm like, you know what? Who would give that to me all the time? Nicolas Cage. And for
he's actually done a movie called Face Off.
Nice. And when Nicolas Cage was there, Nicolas Cage brings the nightmare, but David Lynch brought the love of Americana. I think about The Killer's fourth album, Battleborn, which is from a really schmaltzy Nevada band, and it's all full of songs about driving through the desert and falling in love. And Wild at Heart had that in spades. I don't think I've ever said this before. This is an objectively worse Wild at Heart.
Yeah, it's boring. It's less enthusiastic. And also, Lost Highway takes itself very seriously. Especially like the first 40 minutes.
It's a really bad sign from the doctor that you said this is slow even for Lynch. This movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes long. The first 20 minutes are pretty rough.
Yeah, and again, this is coming from someone some of my favorite movies are slow movies. They're like 3 to 4 hours long, so I got nothing against slow intrinsically, but there's nothing really there interesting to look at. And also, why do so many movies drop the ball on this interesting concept of you open your door and you find a videotape of your house? Is that
okay? Number one, I was so disappointed because with Lynch, what I've done, I didn't have to do this with Kubrick because I've seen every Kubrick movie now. When I open up Lynch's TV tropes page, I just read that because it'll give me a much more concise, less formal summary of the general plot of the movie that Wikipedia won't do. It'll be too formal and wordy. But with this, I at least got the idea of how it starts. And I know that it starts with that horror concept about video that you didn't take inside your house, which is supposed to be your safe zone. Mm-hmm. If I had known how little of it was in this movie, I was nothing but let down. And I wanted that, but you say that like it's like that's a saturated genre.
No, I know of at least 2 or 3 movies that do that. I've seen 2 of them. Yeah. This one, and it's an interesting concept, and every version of it I've seen fails its potential.
Okay. So tell me about the example you gave. It's a French movie.
A French movie from 2005 called Cachet. I enjoy most of it, and it's a similar concept where this family keeps finding videotapes on their front porch of just people of this camera that's spying on them, and they're trying to find out whose it is. The thing about, I think it uses that unsettling horror to a much better degree. The payoff is also not as good, in my opinion. It kind of drops the ball, but nonetheless, I think that the first 2/3, maybe even 4/5 of the movie is good.
And even in my end, I watched 2000, I think it's 11's VHS, the found footage anthology, and the second short, and to me, a lot of people, the worst short in that movie, is one where 2 people are going on vacation in Utah, and when they sleep, you get to see camera footage of their hotel room at night. He goes, okay, here's the sleeping wife, and then it pans over, here's the sleeping husband, something's wrong. And that is a really effective scare, and it had the benefit of not fitting in 135 minutes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even matter because the show ditches that pretty quick, which will bring me, I guess, to the really unusual trait this movie has going for it, is that it appears to ditch its primary main character after about half an hour.
Yeah, but not in a way that makes, like, there have been other movies where it's more of like a redirection, where it like whether it's Psycho or La Ventura, where they make you think that, oh, this is the main character. And then they go, no, it turns out this person's the main character. No, the character played by Brian Pullman is the main character. And then we just do a total 180 and switch to another one.
And so not only nobody knows how he showed up in the jail cell originally for main character number 1.
Brian Pullman character is arrested for homicide, and
Bill Pullman?
What did I say?
Brian.
Yeah.
Pullman got arrested for apparently murdering his wife, but he doesn't remember it. They put him in the jail cell to be awaited execution. And he has a bit of a trip. He yells for the guards. When the guards pull it up and look in there, it's a different guy.
Which is interesting. I'll give it that. That it woke me up in this movie, and I was getting a little bored.
The pacing needed a lot of work.
And then it turns in. It's again another one of these really dull crime dramas about, oh, you're sleeping with the mob boss's girlfriend.
That's a no.
No. God, that story's boring.
It's I honestly, I had it. I like the potential it had because I like that man absolutely going off about how much he dislikes tailgaters. For you accidentally being stuck in that really dangerous situation, unable to get out, that had the potential to be like a Drive style, like, oh, we're in the muck, we are in a lot of danger, how do we get out? And then it cools back off and becomes this really vague, nebulous mystery that I don't like. And, like, I wasn't a fan of this. I also wasn't a huge, giant fan of Blue Velvet.
And also, this movie has this problem that Lynch he keeps doing this again and again, where he tries to film intense, meaningful romance. He can't. He has yet to do it. Every time you get either Pullman's character or weird lumpy forehead dude character, where they start having these scenes with this doppelganger lady that sometimes has blonde hair, sometimes has black hair. I get it. This character is supposed to be invested with this woman. It feels fake. Romance in Lynch movies so far always feel fake, with the exception of Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern.
That's wild. That's wild because tell me how well I, if at all, I land the analogy here. David Lynch can't do it. Neither can Stanley. He tried. He got really lucky with Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
Stanley also had that kind of hurdle to overcome, but maybe Stanley just tried harder. Or maybe Stanley's just objectively 8 feet tall and can leave however damn tall he wants.
I believe the couple in Eyes Wide Shut is a couple.
Right.
Estranged,
but still.
Yeah, I mean, they have problems. And are they going to make it? I don't know.
Are you saying this didn't work out because Bill Pullman's not a doctor?
The couple on a Eraserhead, whatever you want to call that.
Oh my god. That feels like 10 years ago.
The romance in Dune, fuck no. The
Elephant Man,
I mean, I guess Anthony Hopkins and the Elephant Guy had something.
You're a really swell guy. You want to listen to some Rammstein?
Blue Velvet, it's like the thing between the main character and Laura Dern is cardboard. Like it's I have to imagine that's intentionally glaringly fake.
Well, I don't mean to. I thought this is really, really rude. I don't mean to support Laura Dern here, but
she's better in Wild at Heart.
Yeah, she was
much better in Wild at Heart.
She was also better in Blue Velvet, which for me has less going for it. But I want to severely apologize to Wild at Heart. I left that movie super stanky. Knowing this is here, I want to retroactively apologize to that. In fact, we haven't even started editing any of these, so you'll probably get a visual notice on Wild at Heart. Johnny no longer thinks this. Stick around.
Yeah, okay, I mean, Lost Highway. It'll make you like.
It'll make you like Nicolas Cage. No, thank you. I already know about the power of our Lord and Savior. I am gonna begin wrapping up. I felt it really weird to have musical cameos by Marilyn Manson and I believe Rammstein, and then what the hell is his name? Marilyn Manson and Twiggy Ramirez, who's a friend of Marilyn's, show up as porn stars in one of their videos.
There's a lot of cameos in this, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Robert Loggia's a main character. I don't think he qualifies as a cameo.
More than average star power in this movie.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that David looks for. It's not.
But I guess, like, what? So he had his television show had just been... done.
I don't know if it's canceled or what. We also
95.
Guys, if you're looking for the Twin Peaks movie, we skipped it because we feel like we have to do it justice by watching the rest of
the show. Yeah, we would have to watch the show.
This movie wants to get rad, and I know it wants to get rad because a guy leaps into a coffee table and performs a partial frontal decapitation. And they really want you to see the effects on that, which are rad as hell.
And okay, that did get me because I have had anxiety about
falling.
The ends of coffee tables.
Okay, no, this is fucked up because twice in my life I thought my brother was gonna die. And the first time that it happened was he was spinning around in the living room and he tripped and he cracked his head on one of the railings.
My little brother did the same thing.
And as he's screaming, we're taking him to the hospital. I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm an only kid.
Yes, so that... yeah, that did get me. Mm-hmm. But the rest of that scene is... okay. Kind of boring.
The rest of that is it's got the boring nature of I'm here just taking like the most boring pieces from movies other from David Lynch. Like take the boringness of the Blue Velvet and then take out Nicolas Cage, and it's not weird enough to. That's actually when I pulled up that list that I keep sometimes coming back to about just some random listicle site saying we ranked all the David Lynch movies. I think this comes out near the bottom because it's. Notwithstanding, it comes out near the bottom with Dune because they're like it's vague, but it doesn't go hard enough in the paint with its vagueness and weirdness. It's just vague and boring. I honestly, in terms of quality, second to last right now. If I actually want to watch something, dead last because at least I can get high and watch Dune.
That's a good point. Like, I feel something when I watch Dune.
Because Dune had those Minecraft shields. I think I'm done, Mike. Would you like to say your piece before you get executed and turned into Gary Busey?
How can I top that? I got nothing.
Alright, guys. That's a bad sign with the movie is that Gary Busey's in it and you have nothing to say about him.
And also, he's the boring one.
Yeah, he plays a very straight character. Guys, I think that's been our latest edition of Lynchpin, the show where we have regrettably decided to watch and review every David Lynch film in chronological order. Please join us in 1 week for 1999's The Straight Story, starring Sissy Spacek and Harry Dean Stanton. I have nothing to say. I got nothing.
What happens?
Nothing. I don't want to read this while we're on the show.
We're going to find out.
I realize I have to credit TV tropes, and I'm not going to do that.